Welcome to another episode of Raul's World of Synths. I am Raul. Today we're going to be continuing our A137 series and looking at a little bit of audio processing. If you were with us in the last video, you saw a little bit of low frequency signals being processed with our friend the A137 Wave Multiplier right here. This time around I thought we would hear actually some of the effects that occur when the actual waveform that you're multiplying is processed on the other side. So I do have my oscilloscope set up over on the side there. So we will be taking a look at some of this and as it's being processed in real time. And also over here on the left, I have my sequencer set up because we're going to be using this to trigger some notes that are going to be going over into our wave multiplier. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. We're going to start by processing a triangle wave. But let's just have a listen to what that actually sounds like before we do anything to it. So I'm just going to take a simple triangle wave and then patch it right out. Over here to my multiples. This right here, this signal, is actually going out to my mixer. So as soon as I patch this, you should hear it. The reason I'm doing it this way is because we'll see in a little while our oscilloscope signal. So here we go so we can hear it. Okay, so that's the basic signal coming in right there. And if you're curious about the pitches, if you follow me over here to the sequencer, I have some notes coming out from the two outputs here at the bottom, going over into the switch. That output right here at this red cable is going a little bit over to the section where our VCO is, right here in the center, via this cable. It's going into our quantizer here, and then out. Those are being quantized to a major scale, and then going into the CV input of our A111, and then the triangle output is what we're actually listening to over here, just pure triangle wave. So why don't we get a look at our waveform before processing. And so if you look over at the oscilloscope, you can see a nice triangle wave. Let me just adjust the octave here. And now at the oscilloscope, you should see a little more of a triangle shape going on there. I just went up an octave. So that's what we're going to be processing. And I'm going to leave the oscilloscope in this blue cable over here patched because we are going to just go ahead and process that now. So I'm going to take it out. There we go. I'm going to actually switch over to a shorter cable because I'm going to actually go from this output right here, the triangle, right into our A137. So I'm taking the output right there and then going into our input here. And then that output I'm going to take from here and then go up into our multiple right there. And if you look at our oscilloscope so far, you can see the shape itself is quite different than what we had before. We had kind of a triangle shape with kind of a hard edge at the top. And now our shape is quite different from that. Okay? So I thought it'd be best to just kind of go through and maybe find a few different timbres with our A137. So I'm just going to make a small modification to our manual multiples control here. And this is actually increasing or decreasing the number of waveform multiplications. And you can see over at our oscilloscope that it's not quite having a great effect, at least not that we can see at any rate. So I'm going to leave it about there, and then I'm going to kind of adjust some of these other parameters. And right about there, if you're looking at our oscilloscope, you can see part of our triangle shape return. Although the timbre itself is quite different. It sounds almost a little bit like an organ sound or something similar. Okay, so that was adjusting the folding level that got us there. I'm going to bring this next parameter, the symmetry, a little bit in the counterclockwise direction. And just go ahead and take a look at our oscilloscope there. So you can see the waveform that we have now. And you should be able to orally also hear quite a different timbre as well. Okay, let's adjust symmetry in the other direction, because this time we went counterclockwise. Let's go clockwise a little bit and see if we get some favorable results. And just keep your eye on the oscilloscope. I'm going to about 12 o'clock right there. So there's our oscilloscope. It's at about 12. I'm going to go to about maybe just 1 o'clock right there. And then take a look at our scope. Still have a little bit more of a shape of a triangle wave. Let's go a little further. Okay, I'm going to leave it right about 3 o'clock right there. And then I'm going to make a few changes to our harmonics right here. See if we get any favorable results over here. And bring it down this way. And there we actually have something very similar to a sine shape, as you can see right there. Okay, so let's start at this sine shape, and now let's go back to our folding level and adjust that a little bit. And I'm going in the counterclockwise direction. And I'm starting to lose my my signal over there. So let me try adjusting multiples. Maybe in the clockwise direction. And if you look at our scope now, we have quite a different shape now. So there's literally hundreds and hundreds probably of different combinations that you can come up with. I'm going back to symmetry here.